Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
Oh my gosh, you guys, sorry, but no, it is sir. Excuse me, it's sir. It is sir. Pronouns. That's what we're talking about today. Pronouns. He, she, whatever other pronouns you wish to go by, they, them, zims, or whatever it is, okay? And why it's really not as important as you may think that it is. So, hello everyone, my name is Autumn Asphodel and I'm a coach to help you live your best life and find your true purpose. And you can schedule a free consultation over at autumasphodel.com/coaching. And in today's video, we're talking about why pronouns are not as important as a lot of people are making them out to be. So enjoy the video. Pronouns for transgender people are claimed to be one of the most important things when it comes to transitioning. Hearing others refer to you as your desired pronoun reaffirms your gender identity as either male or female. But when you were misgendered and called the wrong pronouns, it makes you feel bad, threatened even, and like you can never live as the gender you've chosen to live as. However, what if I told you that pronouns are not as important as you think? It's true, and here's why. Early on in transition, you become hyper-focused on pronouns since you are making drastic changes to how you appear, taking hormones, or even getting surgeries to make you appear like the opposite sex. This hyperactive focus on how others perceive you comes from a place of uncertainty within yourself. You are extremely sensitive to other people's views of you and present yourself in a way that others view you the way you want them to view you. This type of control you want to have over others' perspective leaves you stressed and anxious that others are not viewing you the way you want them to view you. So you become focused on your appearance and pronouns, and when someone calls you the wrong pronouns and goes against what you want them to think and believe, it upsets you to such an extreme degree that you may even make you think that others are out to do you harm, harass you, and take away your right to exist, which simply is not true. Those close to you, who you knew before transition, may have a hard time adjusting to the new you. It takes time for your immediate family and friend circle to come around to calling you by the correct pronouns and names. You cannot and should not get upset with them if they slip up from time to time, since the change is gradual. Those who respect and love you will refer to you as the name and pronouns you wish to go by, but it's often difficult since it's a sudden change and you may still physically look like the same to them. So, people may never be able to fully come around since it's simply too hard for them. Pronouns are a very big part early on in your transition. If you're going from once your birth sex to the opposite sex, it's a very big important thing when it comes to other people getting your pronouns right, because it basically affirms how you feel about yourself. I feel as though, and this is my own personal journey and experience as well, that very early on in transition, this is when you're the most sensitive to criticism, most sensitive to other people's comments about you, because you're making such a drastic change to your appearance. So you want to be perceived as the sex that you wish to transition to. For me, what I had to do as someone who was a male before, who visually looked like a male, transitioning to a female, it would upset me if people would call me a male still, or by my male name, or even sir. It's like, or maybe some people didn't really even know too much. But this was very early on. This was very early on in my transition, so it was understandable. At this point now, for the most part, that really does not happen, but they will happen on occasion where people are calling me he. People are calling me sir. People are calling me male pronouns. And for the most part, it doesn't really happen, but there are some people who I guess know some things about me who have said those sort of things. So at this point in my life, I don't let that sort of thing bother me anymore. It's not a big problem anymore. Early on it was, but not anymore once I've been able to build up the confidence within myself. Another thing to realize is that a pronoun is just a word. It does not and should not define you. What defines who you are is the interests you have, what you make out of your life, and your connection with your higher self, your true self, your spirit and soul. You are here for a specific reason. Each of us has a different reason for being here today, and what we meant to accomplish. But I can guarantee you that your reason for existing on this earth is to not get upset at trivial things such as how others perceive you and what they call you, and certainly not pronouns. These words are such a small, trivial thing in the grander scheme of your life and who you truly are. Since we have a physical body and wish for others to view us in a positive way, especially as the gender we choose to identify as, we cannot change others' perspective. The unfortunate truth for the overwhelming amount of trans people is that it's very easy to tell the person is trans if you know what to look for. Things such as jawline, shoulders, hip width, curves, height, voice, and so on. Most people don't analyze someone from head to toe, nor really care to. But the fact remains that you cannot change or convince everyone and should not worry about trying, since all you'll be doing is making yourself feel bad and like a victim. Instead, feel empowered that no matter how others perceive you, you're still able to be happy. Build up your own self-confidence. While it may seem unsettling to hear someone misgender you, especially if done deliberately, stand strong and show how confident you are by not letting it get to you. Taking offense is a personal choice. If you get offended, that shows vulnerabilities that you need to work on. By working on your confidence, by loving the person you are at the deepest level, then you'll find new happiness in the world and accept and love others for who they are, even if they've done you wrong and misgendered you. Hatred doesn't accomplish anything and only makes you look foolish. So learn to love yourself and others, building up your confidence, and you'll be able to achieve success. Let me know how this works for you. Have a great day. So we may think that pronouns are the biggest thing in the world and that you must respect them or you're going to go to jail if you misgender someone, even by accident. And that's how crazy the world has gotten at this point, where you can't even have a joke. You can't even accidentally say these sort of things without serious repercussions and issues and being labeled transphobic and all this other type of nonsense, which just simply is not true. It simply is just not true. So the best thing you can do if you're being misgendered, if you're having these sort of problems, you have to be able to build up your own confidence. Because when you really look at the bigger picture of things, you are a spiritual being having a human experience. Your physical body is limited on this earth. You have to make the most out of it. And so why focus so much on what other people call you, what other people think about you, instead of living the purpose you were meant to be here for? So my purpose is I am here to do all sorts of things. Helping other people is a major thing. Helping them become more confident, such as what I have done, being able to overcome a lot of their problems and issues. If I focus so much on pronouns, if I focus so much on other people misgendering me or thinking, if I'm walking around somewhere, oh, this person's looking at me, they must think that I'm a man. If that person's looking at me, they must think that I'm transgender or something. It would distract me from what my overall purpose is. So it doesn't make any sort of sense to focus on that. Very early on, it makes sense because transitioning is your focus. Transitioning is your focus very early on in your transition. But once you get to a point where that's done, you're comfortable with who you are. It's about building up your confidence to the point where you no longer let this criticism affect you, because other people's opinions are completely irrelevant. Does it matter what Jim Bob says to me, about me, thinks about me down the street? No, it doesn't matter. Because why does what his opinion matter to me? How does that affect me in any sort of way? It doesn't, and it shouldn't affect me, because I'm going to continue to be who I am, and I'm going to continue to be the best person that I can be and live my true purpose here on this earth. And that's exactly what you should be doing as well. Living your true purpose, no matter how hard it is, and letting go of what anyone else thinks about you and says about you, because people who judge and people who specifically criticize and say things that are hateful, those are often people who have problems with themselves, and that's what you have to remember. Be sure to check out the amazing merchandise over at Asphodel Shop for some inspiring designs. I'm sure you'll find something amazing. Also, become a member. $5 up and above will get you early access to new content months before it is publicly available to anyone else. So I want to thank you all so very much for tuning into this video. Let me know what your thoughts are with misgendering and how you deal with that. I'm really curious to hear it. So you all take care, have a great one, and I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.